And your being here does say a lot about your desiring to implement some change and to become more productive. Because when people say, you know, doubling your productivity, they often ask, how does that affect me? Well, it affects all of us, usually right here. Checkbook, your lifestyle, it affects your money. All those things are a result of your productivity. An example is, last week I was had someone working on a proposal for a corporate client of ours, and they worked on the proposal. It looked great, and I went back to review it before presenting it to the client. And as I read through it, I saw a missing piece, a major piece that was missing, because I had spoken to the account and I knew what they wanted to do. So I made a couple tweaks. In about 15 minutes, this proposal went from $2,200 to right at $4,900. One missing piece, 15 minutes. We sat down with the client, we presented it. Without question, they bought it because they knew that's what they needed. The difference in that almost $2,800 was that I knew what to look for. X marks the spot. And in your life, you have to know where to look and what to look for and how to focus in to find those missing pieces, because when it comes to productivity, that's what it's always about. It's not what's obvious, because everybody knows what's obvious and what we need to do from that perspective, but it's being able to focus in on the missing piece, the area that no one sees or the area that no one's working, and beginning to tap into that and to become productive with that. And I share that story because in that $2,800 difference was a simple one little thing. It took less than 15 minutes to do that. But I doubled the amount of the account. I doubled the revenue. I doubled our potential with it, only because of the simple X on the one missing piece. And in your folder, you'll see a presentation with some PowerPoint notes that you can use to follow along with some of the things I'm going to share today, but you can also take some notes on it and personalize it for your life and for things that are particular to you. When you look on that first slide, you see that X does mark the spot, and your productivity is knowing where to put the X in your life, knowing where your schedule is concerned, knowing how to get the best possible results out of what you do, be it in sales, be it as a business owner, recruiting, whatever it is you're doing. You have to know how to single-mindedly get in there and figure out what you need to do, because your intelligence, your focus, and your clarity on the right things are what's going to differentiate you from the masses. It's what makes you marketable. It's what makes you your revenue and your income. And this is also what takes you above average, because being average barely keeps you on a job. Being average barely keeps your bills paid. Being average is not fulfilling. Being average is basically being in a place of stagnation, and it keeps you frustrated. And the only way that you can separate yourself beyond that and above that is in one thing. It's called focus. You cannot double your productivity. You cannot advance past average without being focused. If you think about energy or you think about light, it's all around us. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, it's there. But when it's focused, it'll literally, a beam will go through steel. The only thing changed about it is that it's no longer scattered. It's just focused energy. And that's how you have to learn how to live your life. That's how you have to operate on your job. That's how you have to run your business. You have to begin to develop that type of focus to get it done. And when you begin to do that and you get focused like that, you literally take the X and you can begin to mark the spot. You can mark the spot, because that requires effort. It requires practice. It requires commitment. And you're going to have to learn how to do this day by day, hour by hour, and minute by minute, to really be able to experience the impact and the results that you're desiring for it in your life. In order for you to double your productivity, and my husband, when we were talking about this session, he said, that's called dip. When you double your productivity, you just got to dip. He said, every time you think about that, think about dipping, because that's what you're doing. It's almost like you step back to speed up. And when you do that, you are planning, you're coming up with a creative plan, you're coming up with an action, because you have to manage the expectations on a daily basis of all your clients. You have to manage the expectations every day of your boss or your manager. Let's not add in family. Let's not add in friends. Let's not add in every single thing else that's going on. And you have to learn how to focus in on what you need to do, because you have all these aspects of your life vying for your time, vying for your attention. And one of the biggest things that keeps many people from being unproductive is not that they're not willing to do the work, but they don't know what to do. They're kind of all over the place. You're trying to be productive here, and you're not finishing that, and you're moving back over here. So instead of focusing in on maximizing any level of productivity, you got a whole bunch of pieces going on. Anybody know anything about having several pieces of the puzzle? Nothing really completed, nothing really maximized, but a little bit of everything. Then you're frustrated. Your checkbook's not saying what you want it to say. Your quota's not met. Your client deals aren't solved, and you're frustrated. And you know you've been working hard, but you've scattered all your energy. You've scattered all your focus. You've scattered all your direction. So at the end of the day, you have no results. Just a lot of hard work and frustration. That's